The bell is tolling. Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden NFL Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a look at Le'Veon Bell, fresh off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the New York Jets. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner is standing by to...
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Check, 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 check.
On first down, Darnold. He's got Herndon, his tight end. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. They'll run on first down. It's McBride. And some space to move right away as he's all the way up to the 30. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
From the gun, Novak flushed out right, and he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Taking it in from 4 yards out, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Here's Darnold. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. And they give this time to the tailback. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. One heck of a 3rd down conversion, 33 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A throw over the middle, taken in, and he'll get it down this time to the 17. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. On 1st down, Novak escaping the pressure, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Andy Isabella, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Well, they have to be loving this start to the 1st quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're talking about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. New York set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 16 yards, a 1st down. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
You better be ready next time.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time. And the pressure gets to him again. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first.
And he's going to go down again. Here's the Jets punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. 2nd quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Yeah, not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. 2nd and 3. Eluding the... And it's a Cincinnati Bengals touchdown. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Well, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Darnold. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Oh, had to get it out quickly. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. As his guys are in for 6. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead.
But they didn't have their normal cushion there in order to punt the ball away. It leads to a lot of anxiety for the team kicking the football.
But for the punter, you know that you've got to get rid of that quickly. Not quick enough.
And also, not stepping behind you and stepping over the end line for a safety. That one gets blocked, and it's 6 points.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So the very rare blocked punt, scooped and returned for a touchdown. What an exciting play. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Sam Darnold heading back out. The focus of Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. 3rd and long, it's Darnold, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fielded at the 43. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so.
Hey, Zoo!
To throw again, Novak. This one caught by Isabella. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things.
And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. It's their quarterback. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays, and the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw is Darnold, and he's got it complete to Anderson. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. On 2nd down now, it's Bell, and he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10. Now Darnold, under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
57's Mike. In your face. 57's Mike.
Go.
57. Here we go.
Hey, Haywood. Ready?
Operating from the gun. Novak. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Andy Isabella with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to pour it on. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a draw play. This is Bell. And he's got room.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
On 1st and 10, Darnold on the catch. It's Crowder. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back to throw, Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jets. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays. This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to the ground, this time to Bell. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Here's the Jets punter now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And we'll see what he can do on the return. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes. No interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
On 1st and 10, Novak. He'll buy some time right. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Novak dancing to his left. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
70, Indy.
From the gun on 3rd down. Novak flush to his right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will do it for this first half. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Give them 17 at a Cincinnati first down.
Topper, go.
On first down, McBride. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Novak flushed out right. They'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Ready?
From the gun, Novak steps away to his left. Touchdown, Bengals! And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense trots back onto the field, and we shine our Madden spotlight on Sam Darnold. And this defense, they came prepared. He's probably going to be seeing them in his sleep if they don't fix things quickly.
And that's not exactly what he wants to see in his post-game slumber. So they've got to figure out a way to slow things down a little bit. Some screen passes, some draws, anything to make the defensive front hesitate a little bit. Think on their way back to the quarterback, maybe even a quarterback draw, some type of tendency breaker to change things up.
Exactly. Whatever the case, something to mix it up here. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On second down, it's Bell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 36 yards on the play.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
And you just kind of get the sense that this team's been snake-bitten a little bit here. They just have not had anything go their way.
It's like they collectively walked under a ladder on their way into the stadium. What else could go wrong?
Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Going deep downfield into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Yeah, they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because
through an opening, and there he goes. The 40, the 20, and they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go, D.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Again, it's Bell. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that's going to bring up a third down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Cody Parkey on for the field goal. A 30-yard attempt.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Check it back, check it back.
Get it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Novak. That is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Novak. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. We are off to the 4th quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on 1st down. It's McBride. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The tackle there by Brian Poole. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. John Ross with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Darnold now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. He's going to, and that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big pickup of 38. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. This one caught by Crowder. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Darnold to throw again. Got an open man. It's Enunwa. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. The Jets on 3rd down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The kick by Parkey is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
On the move to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 44-yard line. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to throw. Novak being chased out left. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, Novak eluding the pressure right, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Hey, box drop, box drop. Shoot.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he slides to avoid the hit. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Operating from the gun. Novak. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a pass taken in by the tight end Herndon. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Ready, ready.
50 seconds to Mike.
Hey, high 7. Please grip.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Flush to his right. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you. And it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
Artie Burns, former first-rounder, there to break that one up. The throw once more on 2nd and 10. Darnold. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch, just 1 yard. Making it 3rd and 9. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. That's taken on the 25. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
18 Gator.
Hey, we heavy on
Hey, Alpha.
Hey, check Mike 56.
Throwing on 1st down. Novak flushed out right. That ball complete to Isabella. And he's got this down to the 35. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Novak. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Escaping the pressure right. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. Ricky Seals-Jones, the intended target. And it's 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Novak. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called